Today we are going to be talking about how to do a muscle energy technique for the lower thoracic spine with an NRSL positional fault. Here the spine is in neutral, rotated right, and side bent left. An outline of this technique is to first palpate the restricted segment, then position the patient to the point of restriction, apply an isometric force in the direction of movement restriction, and have the patient resist using a muscle contraction. They are going to then hold that muscle contraction for approximately 5 seconds before the patient will be moved to a new point of restriction, and we will continue this technique 3 to 5 times or until the movement of the restricted segment stops improving. Here we can see what moving from the positional fault into the direction of the movement restriction looks like. Step 1 is to palpate the restricted segment by placing the middle finger over the spinous process and an index or ring finger over the transverse processes. Next, we are going to position the patient to the point of restriction. So for an NRSL positional fault, we're going to start out with a neutral rotated right, side bent left spine, and then slowly side bend the spine right and rotate it left until movement is felt at the restricted segment. Keep in mind that this may be a very small movement. Then we're going to apply an isometric force in a left rotation and right side bending direction, and have the patient resist with a muscle contraction, holding for approximately 5 seconds. Once the patient has relaxed, we will then move them to the new point of restriction by repeating the same directions as in step 2. Finally, we will repeat this technique 3 to 5 times or until movement at the restricted segment stops improving.